We call in Creator energy to assist us in dealing with the fullness of every day and the speed with which they move. We ask to be guided and protected always, for there is a pressure and much requirement for things to be attended to. We can rest in knowing you have our backs, that we are able and capable of facing whatever comes. Sometimes more patience is required. Sometimes muscling through a difficult situation is what is necessary. Going with the flow without knowing the destination, result, or outcome can actually be freeing if we practice the phrase, let go and let God. Above all, let us express gratitude for the presence of one another as we stand firm in our I am. All of us here are here for a reason. So let us just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello, who are you? You can support who you are if you have the proper documentation. Who are you? What can you support? What can you support it with? There's claims. A sneeze. Nomenclature, identification, supporting evidence. Let's start out with the claim. In my living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth, I say, I am. I am. That's me standing. And then I am known by. And known as. But I am. So, I am one of the people and a clerk of our civilian common law and equity court of record. That's important. We have an Article 3 court here on Oregon that we made ourselves, followed all the rules, read all the stuff, did the work, and nobody has rebutted us in 8 years. We've also implemented Ex parte Milligan. I've explained Ex parte Milligan before. When you have Ex parte Milligan implemented on your state, there can be no martial law, no labor code, no FEMA. And we implemented it on our state. And we implemented it with a common law and equity court of record. There it is, civilian court clerk, land and soil jurisdiction. For identification, I have government issued photo ID. And the government is, we are the provisional government on Oregon. And the reason for that is the one in Salem and represented throughout the counties is bogus. It's color of law. It's operated by a RICO organization known as the Oregon State Bar. So then we take a look at those things that identify us. Article 1, Section 1. What is Article 1, Section 1? We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, and that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times the right to alter, reform, abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. And there's a specific way that you do that. Excuse me. You do the work and you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And if you want to know exactly how, call me up, I'll tell you, or look it up on our website. We are the Jural Provisional Government on Oregon, known as the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Now, how do you get to that point? We formed a grand jury. The grand jury did its work. We formed an Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction, with Article 7 and Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law and Equity Court of Record. We did that over a period of years. We didn't figure it out overnight. And after you do that, and you have hearings and trials and true bills and verdicts and awards, after you do all that, we removed Kate Brown, Tina Kotek, Ron Wyden, Jeff Merkley, and Suzanne Bonamici from office as they have no honor, they broke their oath, and are unworthy of a position of trust. Now, we did all of that, and they have been notified and they comprehend. They've got proof of service. So then that took care of the executive. Then Tina took care of the legislature for us when 89 of the 90 broke their oath at the same time, January 21st, 2021. They held session with us locked out. You can't do that. They did it. They broke their oath. So now we have no legislature. Then Article 7 amended is in the Constitution without any proof. There's no evidence. And that's the judiciary. And as of November 2022, the judiciary acquiesced and defaulted to the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. And they've done that twice. So that removed the judiciary. So it's all three of the constitutionally required government entities that we're supposed to have been removed from office because they broke their oath and they have no honor and they may not hold a position of trust. That leaves Article 1, Section 1 as the provisional government. Now, we don't say we're running things. We don't say that. We know the de facto's there. We recognize it. We can read the definition on page 416 in Black's Law, 6th edition. We know it's there. We also know it's illegal or illegitimate. So then the next thing is you have to recognize what Oregon is. Oregon is the 33rd state among the several states of the United States of America in the Jural law form of legitimate circa 1859. And we are jura summa imperi, common men and women on the land and soil. I am in the private. I'm also known as Ronald Charles Vroman in longhand on my birth certificate, and as trustee to the Private Membership Association, Ronald Charles Vroman, the straw man, in caps. Also known as Ronald Charles Vroman, upper and lower case, Private Attorney General by the United States Congress, 42 U.S.C. 1988, and 18 U.S.C. 1510 and 18 U.S.C. 1512, to be known as one of the people, also qualified criminal investigator, and also federal witness, and by living testimony without rebuttal. And my status is identified without rebuttal. In the City of Beaverton record, in the Beaverton Municipal Court, and in the United States Federal District Court, Portland, Oregon. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, 515-9365, discharged. It took me 3 years to get that document. They say you're discharged, but you're not until you got it. I'm the flesh, blood, soul, body, mind, spirit man on Oregon, a continuous traveler until recently, and a non-U.S. citizen, born August 14, 1938 in Reno, Nevada, with 2 ancestors, a father and son direct bloodline that fought for New York in our revolution. My mother's father, born Stockwell Gonzalez in 1876, New Mexico. My mail is 14725 Southwest Glenbrook Road, Beaverton, 97007. Phone number is 503-641-8375, and that's Ron Vroman 38 at proton.me. So now let's move on into full faith and credit. What is governing law? And what does full faith and credit mean? It means I can't have anything that somebody else doesn't have. If I have it, you have it. There are no unalienable rights that aren't exchanged across all the states. So we have Article 1, Section 1 in our Constitution. Various other states and territories, 33 states, 17 territories, have various forms of that. But as Oregon has it, all states have it. Then we have in our provenance the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, 1776. It's not the Declaration of Independence. In 1777, the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union. That's all a piece. And it was styled the United States of America. Anything else is not us. We have Oregon's original Constitution. 1859. The United States Constitution and Oregon's Constitution are documents that are meant to be modified, amended. That's the design. So the last and final, most up-to-date constitutions are 1859, because in 1861, we lost the perpetual union, and we have been in color of law ever since. So, how do we define what law is? Well, it's defined in our constitutions, and all the words in our constitutions are defined in Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2-volume, 1856. That's the only one that's legit. Then we have to look at the maximums of law, the Clearfield Doctrine, the Accardi Doctrine, Ex parte Young, Ex parte Milligan, the McCarran-Walters Act of 1952, the Judiciary Act of 1789. The McCarran-Walters Act is a really good law. That provides that any group that professes to change our constitutional Republican form of government is not valid on our land and soil. They must not be here. That looks like Islam to me, among others. Social Democrats, Communists, Nazis, none of them fit. Article 4, Section 4, Constitutional Republican form of government. So now we have governing law, what we're doing, what we're standing for, who we are, and we're properly identified. I yield.
Hi, I'm Eric Dover with the Oregon Statewide Journal Assembly, and I have some messages for the Oregon sheriffs. Where are sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. Why? Because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be there to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their home and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system, rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution, circa 1859, with its original jurisdiction, that is, to the people rather than to a corporation, to our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a dejuration, an oath, is needed for there to be remedy in our system of governance. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference, to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up.
And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.